Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me once again. I appreciate you being here. Today, we are going to be talking about Wwe 2K17 once again. A simple topic, who's going to be on the cover, okay? I'm going to start this off by saying I have no insider information. I don't know. No, I really don't know. I really, at this point, don't know 100% who it's going to be. So we're kind of going to speculate a little bit today. Also, E3 is this week, so we might get some actual real information about 2K17 sooner than later. Speaking of which, I'm going to be at E3 this week, so I'll try to get some cool vlogs and some footage or some just cool shit for you if I can. So, let's get to it. The top 5 covers. No, what am I calling this? The top 5 potential WWE 2K17 covers, maybe, probably. So let's kick it off with maybe a bit more of an obvious guess. Because I don't think 2K17 is going to be a bad game. I don't think 2K17 is going to be a good game. I think 2K17 is going to be the game. Because there's a good chance that Roman Reigns is gonna be the cover star for 2K17. Why, you ask? I don't think you're asking that, but let's just say hypothetically you did ask why. Let's look at the evidence. First of all, we have to remember that 2K, to my knowledge, which is pretty good, to my knowledge, does not choose the cover star. At the end of the day, that is WWE's decision. I'm sure 2K can kind of push on it. They can try to, fight for somebody. But at the end of the day, when all is said and done, it's WWE's decision. How do I say this? It's hard for me to envision a situation where WWE has pushed and invested in Roman Reigns as much as they have and not put him on the cover of the only game that they release during the year. The year that they wanted to be Roman Reigns' year. Main eventing WrestleMania, winning at WrestleMania, WWE champion, etc., etc., etc. It makes logical sense that they would want to put him on the cover of their only and their biggest game of the year. There was even a fake 2K17 cover floating around that had Roman on it. Honestly, I believed it for a second. It looked realistic. If the official WWE Games Twitter didn't tweet that it was fake, I'd be like, okay, that's the cover. It looked super real. If I can find it, I'll put it in the video. But at this point, I just can't, like I said, I can't imagine a scenario where that's not the case. I just feel like if it's not just him, maybe it'll be more than one person, which I'll talk about in a second. But I have a very severe feeling that Roman's gonna be on the cover. And we just gotta accept that. But let's move on for a second, because there's another person who I believe has just as much of a chance of being on the cover as Roman, and that man is Brock Lesnar. He was teased a little bit in the Goldberg trailer, Suplex City, reflection in the window, blah, blah. So there's that. And there's also the fact that Roman, even they're brainwashing me even, that Brock, since breaking the streak, has been pushed so hard. Probably I can't think of too many more protected superstars in WWE than Brock Lesnar. He is the beast of all beasts. So it's very, very plausible that Brock Lesnar could be on the cover if it's not Roman Reigns. Like I said, the reflection in the window in the trailer, the fact that Brock has not been on a cover in a long, long time, so it's certainly a possibility. But that brings me to number 3, which is the possibility of a combination of superstars. And here's how you solve the potential problem, of the backlash of having Roman, again, gracing the cover of the game all up in your face. I know that's how a lot of people feel. Personally, I don't really feel that way, but I know that's how a lot of people feel. You have a multi-star cover. Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. Hell, you could do a WrestleMania 31 special whatever, Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins, because in my opinion, if there's someone that deserves the recognition of being on the cover of a game, it's Seth Rollins. Something else I will talk about in a second. So having the multi-star cover gives you a range of options, because you can put Roman on it if you really want, but you can make it so that the fans aren't so mad about it. But there's also the possibility of showcasing people from all the divisions of WWE. So the main superstars, the women division, and the NXT superstars. So you could do like a Roman, Charlotte, Balor kind of thing. Or you could do a Roman, Rollins, you know, Charlotte, Sasha, Balor, Joe, something like that. It's been, let me see. WWE, so 2K16 was Stone Cold, 15 was Cena, 14 was Rock, 13 was Orton, or was 12 Orton? 12 was Orton, 13 was Punk, right? I don't fucking remember. But regardless, it's been a long time since they had a multi-star cover, and I think you can cover a lot of ground there because I'm hoping NXT is gonna have a bigger part in the game than it did in the previous two. So having an NXT star on the cover makes sense. Having a woman. What is wrong with me today? Having a woman on the cover also makes sense because of how hard they've been pushing the women's divas. Why can't I speak? So superstar, woman, NXT star. That was the point I was trying to make. Let's move on. Number 4, and I brought this up recently, the man who I think deserves the cover, Seth Rollins. Let's talk about Seth Rollins for a second. Mr. Money in the Bank, okay, for a very, very long time. Cashed in at WrestleMania, the only person to ever cash in at WrestleMania. Held the title, I don't want to say for a long time, but he held the title. By hook or by crook, mostly by crook, he hung on to that WWE title, and I think he was primed to have a pretty decent run with it. Like, yeah, it was your first title run sometimes isn't always the best. But he was Seth friggin' Rollins. Like he was doing his damn thing, and this could have and should have been Seth Rollins' year. But of course he got injured and blah blah blah, and he came back and could have been the biggest babyface they've ever seen, but they made him. That's a whole other story. But you get my point. I think Seth Rollins had a phenomenal year. That just having a year that was cut short even was still a better year than a lot of wrestlers dream of ever having. So I would like to see him on the cover in some way, shape, or form. Again, even if it's a multi-star situation, Rollins, Charlotte, Balor, Reigns, Rollins, Amber, like, it doesn't matter. I think he certainly deserves a spot on that cover. And finally, number 5, a potential cover that could happen. Should it happen? No, but it might. A legend cover such as The Undertaker. Now, I don't think they'll actually go in this direction because last year had Austin on the cover, and I know a lot of people, as much as everyone loves Austin, they were kind of like, oh, you know, you should feature a younger up-and-coming superstar. So I don't necessarily think they'll go in that direction, but a legend cover is certainly a possibility because 2K16 was Austin, 15 was Cena, but then, like I said, 14 was Rock, 13 was Punk, 12 was Orton. So it's not like they ever really put a young up-and-comer on the cover yet. So as much as I would like to see a Balor or a Rollins or whoever, I'm leaning, let's wrap this up. I'm leaning towards someone like Roman Reigns or Brock Lesnar. Those are my two tops. If someone said, hey Chris, definitively, no BS, who do you think is going to be on the cover of 2K17? I would say either Roman Reigns, and if it's not Roman Reigns, it's going to be Brock Lesnar. Right behind that, I would like to see a multi-superstar cover of, you know, a superstar, a woman, and an NXT guy. That'd be really cool. And finally, there is the possibility of a Legends cover. At this point, nothing has been officially revealed yet. I think maybe by the time I put this video up, something might have already slipped out because, like I said, E3 is this week. There's a lot of gaming news that happens around E3. 2K17 is going to be there. I don't think it's going to be there in a major way, but the 2K people are going to be there. They're announcing some of the roster, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So some of the roster is going to be officially revealed this week, so we might get one step closer to knowing who the cover star actually is. But do me a favor, let me know in the comment section below who you think is going to grace the cover of WWE 2K17. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate your support. Do me a big favor, hit that thumbs up button as hard as you possibly can. Stay tuned for much more. I got you covered as far as 2K17 goes, so once we get more news and official things and whatnot, I'll be covering those for you so you guys can stay on top of all that. And of course, check out all the other great content on the channel. I appreciate you stopping by, and I'll see you soon.